and they pitch it in a private pitch session to a panel of business owners and investors that we call the Gators. In these pitches, students are asking for real money to launch their venture, and those amounts usually range from about $1,000 to $3,000. So assuming the team gets approved for funding, they then move to Venture Launch 2, where students actually launch their venture. That means making real products that are sold to real customers for real money. So all the revenue received from customers comes back into the program and then actually gets recycled back to the next cohort of marketing and entrepreneurship students. So what you're watching tonight is pitch night for Venture Launch 2. In the private pitch night for Venture Launch 1, the students are telling Gators what they would do if they were going to launch the venture that they're describing. But tonight, the students get to tell the Gators and all of us what they actually did and what they learned and where they take things from here if they chose to continue their venture. And some teams do. So like I've mentioned, a key part of this process are the Gators. These are business owners and investors, and they're going to be our mentors and our coaches and our judges for the night. So I wanted to give them a chance to introduce themselves right now, starting with Hal.
Hello, Jeff, and everybody. Thank you so much for having me. I hope everybody stay well and stay safe. My name is Hao Lam. I am a business owner in Seattle. I have a tutoring franchise. I have been in business for 26 plus years. We have 68 locations in 13 states. This is not my first time doing it. It's such an honor to be here again and watch a wonderful group of students who did such a wonderful and hard work for the last 6 months. Thank you for having me, Jeff. And good luck, everybody.
Next up, Jennifer.
Hi, my name is Jennifer O'Neill. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Live Oak Audiovisual. We're an indie company that we used to do live events, and we're in the process of rebuilding that. Been in Seattle for 21 years, and I have to say this is one of my favorite nights of the semester. I think this is my 4th or 5th time being a Gator for you guys, and I love it. I look forward to it. So I'm super excited about what you guys are going to show us tonight.
Andrea.
Hi, Jeff. Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Duffield. I formerly owned Mosaic Rehabilitation and Children's Therapy Clinics. I left that last year, and I'm now the CEO of Bridgeways, which is a nonprofit and social enterprise. We provide manufacturing employment for, as well as supported housing and supported employment services for people living with mental health issues. And I love being here too. We've done it a lot of times, so it's a lot of fun.
Cool, thank you. And Mark.
Hi guys, I'm Mark Spots. I'm president and owner of Sterlitech Corporation. We're based out of Kent. We're a company selling Tories, specializing universities. Like I said, we've been around for 20 years, and I'm really looking forward to tonight. This is the first time I've done the second part of the event, so should be good.
Cool, thank you. And Steve.
Hi everybody, I'm Steve Duffield. I'm co-owner of Daco Corporation, which is a material handling equipment company. We go into warehouses and manufacturing facilities, and we help them optimize the way they either store or move materials within the facility. And then I have another corporation that does installation and service of doors and dock equipment, one of those in Portland, one in Yakima. I don't know, I've probably done about 6 of these, and I leave every time being energized because what you guys have gone through in the last period of time that you've been doing, this just is, it warms my heart because it's something that I have a passion for. So I'm excited to see what you guys have done.
Thank you, and thanks to all the Gators. You know, between the private and public pitch nights, this is the 16th pitch event we've held in the last 4 years. So it's a lot of work for the Gators. They've always been here to support us, always, always. So this is the 8th group of students that have gone through this venture launch process. I've worked with every one of those groups, but I've always had a partner in the process. So while I took this group of students through Venture Launch 1, I passed the baton to Dan Sedlacek, who took these students to Venture Launch 2. And with a global pandemic coming on right about that time, I couldn't have picked a better time to just pass this baby off to someone else. So I'm going to turn this over to Dan. He's going to introduce himself, and then he's going to get us started on the presentation. So Dan, you can take it away.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Jeff. So yeah, my name is Dan Sedlacek. I am the founder and CEO of Uphill Designs. We are a creative design studio based in Ballard. So my entrepreneurship journey that led me to finally become a faculty member here at Green River Community College started about 7 years ago. I left my job at a Boston hospital. I sewed up a backpack and a tent, and I decided to walk from Mexico to Canada along the Pacific Crest Trail. And that passion of building things and adventure led me to create this company that I then entered into what's called the Jones Foster Accelerator Program. It's basically a 6-month version, just like this is, but at University of Washington. So after successfully taking my kind of fledgling company through that, I learned about the importance of the mentorship process, the importance of passion and aligning your passions with what you're doing in entrepreneurship and your values. And so then I had the great honor of opening up a design studio here in Ballard 2 years ago now. We opened up our first physical place, and we do education and craft and art, and primarily based in leatherwork. And we do a lot of custom designs for a lot of people around Seattle. So I'm here tonight and to kind of introduce all of these students and all these teams. First, thank all of you for coming and spending your time here with us. It means a lot. Thank you, Gators, and thank you, Jeff, for all of your support during this. And without further ado, first up, we have Bone-Dri, and that's going to be presented by Dawn, Courtney, Eric, and Aaron. Take it away, team.
Okay. Hello, and welcome to Venture Launch 2020. I'm Courtney, and with me to help introduce our product, I have Aaron, Dawn, and Eric. We present to you Bone-Dri, the super absorbent towel and brush combination, first of its kind to be offered in the pet industry. Have you ever been in a situation like this where you grab the towel and they jump out of the tub and completely wreck everything? Well, we designed Bone-Dri specifically to give you a better grip on those escape artists. While there are other pet towels on the market, none of them have all the same characteristics as Bone-Dri. We are bone-shaped for character and stitched from microfiber material. The paw-shaped rubber bristle extracts dirt and debris while also brushing your dog's coat. Another thing that separates Bone-Dri from competitors is the mittens on the back that provide greater control. Our first milestone was create a sample towel to test. This was when we determined our blue mittens were not sufficient. We were able to pivot quickly and efficiently to repurpose scrap material, creating the seamless design you see here. There was Dexter and Rolly running through the garden with dirt and bark in tow. This is a typical day in the life of a dog owner, but with Bone-Dri, it is a swift and easy chore to get them ready to come back inside.
So since day one, our mission has been to give back and help take care of the pets in need. That's why for each sale, we donate $1 to the Auburn Valley Humane Society. We are proud to announce that we have a total of $78 worth of donations so far. Our Facebook page has been our primary driver of traffic to our Etsy. Through our efforts on Facebook, we have been gaining followers while also trying to increase brand recognition. Our goal is to post relevant content that communicates our brand voice. We had just completed a 10-day ad campaign on Facebook, boosting our video that received the most views and engagements, giving us a total reach of 1,030 consumers and ended with a cost per through play of 2 cents. Our go-to-market plan involved launching a pre-sale campaign, which helped us reach our milestone of 25 pre-sold towels within the first week. After our pre-sale launch, we gathered email lists and ran 2 more campaigns in conjunction with our pre-sale efforts. Along with this, we have continuously updated our Etsy shop with product photos as well as paid-for advertising directly on Etsy. As you can see, we have received some positive feedback and ratings so far, which has been really encouraging for us.
In the beginning of VL2, we decided to go all in with Etsy as our primary form of selling rather than making a website. We hoped that it would not set us back with a lack of SEO that could limit our sales. However, that did not seem to be the case because we've been able to obtain great traction to our Etsy page. During our 2 months of selling, we have made a total of $1,950 in sales revenue, with $1,291 coming from our Etsy page and $659 coming from our customers who purchased through our PayPal account. Now, our sales traffic has come largely from our Facebook page, which is our biggest social media outlet. We have links that take you directly to our Etsy shop, which have resulted in 103 visits. Facebook has brought 188 individual visits to our shop, while Etsy advertising only brought around 28. The goal is to continue to reach new people from outside our current range and keep exploring other resources and ad campaigns to do so. There were multiple components required for Bone-Dri's assembly. It was not a one-stop shop. We tried to make our product as cost-effective as possible during this exploratory process. As a group, we cut the entire 100 towels by hand, had them serged, and then they were all finished by a seamstress who did a great job manufacturing and embroidering them. Each towel costs $15.80 to make and retails for $25. The current cost of goods sold is $1,580. Our sales revenue is $1,950, leaving us with a net profit of $370 to date. After all of our inventory is sold, we are projected to be
We originally defined our target market as being men and women between the ages of 25 and 45 years old. After we were able to review our Facebook ad results, we found that our reach consisted of 52% men and 48% women who fell within these age ranges. However, when we looked closer at those results, we found that our top audience, or those who actually engaged with our ads most frequently, were women between the ages of 25 and 34. So what's next for Bone-Dri? In year 1, we want to apply for a patent as well as develop our own unique website. We plan on lowering material and production costs by seeking new alternative suppliers and increase our total annual revenue to $40,000. In year 2, we plan to branch out into new distribution channels, including Amazon and brick and mortar stores, as well as purchase warehouse space and the necessary production equipment so that we can begin producing in-house. That year, we will also be hiring up to 5 employees to gain some support in our operations and a total of $70,000. Of all the lessons that we learned from this experience, the greatest takeaway that we have is to maintain focus on what was within our control at any given time. We experienced multiple delays on very specific milestones, but in the end, we were able to serve our customers efficiently and we beat all of our promised lead times. We are so proud of the final product that we came up with for our customers and their furry companions, and we're certainly eager to see what happens next for Bone-Dri. So now we'd like to open the floor for any questions that you may have.
Okay, Gators, if you have any questions, I do have one comment for y'all. So great work overall. Just really well done, crushing those milestones. I do want to see hockey stick revenue in your projections for future revenue. I think I know that you can achieve what you said, but I want you to imagine an absolute like best case scenario. And what does it look like what would it look like to do $500,000 in revenue in year 2 or something like that? Play with those numbers, especially balancing a staff of 5 with those numbers.
Thank you.
I do have a question. When you sell through ST and your Facebook direct, is the pricing the same for both channels? And also, how much is Etsy charging you on a commission?
So we're not selling like through Facebook per se. We're like generating leads with Facebook to our Etsy.
Yeah.
So it's really just one price. And
Okay.
sorry, I'm kind of blanking on the shipping, but Dawn, you want to? I believe it's.
Absolutely. So for Etsy, they charge 20 cents for us to upload and list our inventory. And then every time that a customer makes a purchase, our inventory gets recycled where their programming calculates the new total inventory. They charge us 20 cents for that as well. And of course, there's taxes and fees associated with every purchase.
Yeah, because you said that about $1,200 through Etsy and then $7 something through PayPal, right? If it's go through PayPal, you don't have to pay them a commission.
They actually do take, let's say, for instance, those who only purchase one towel, they were charged $25, and PayPal took $1.23, I believe it was, from each of those transactions because we have a PayPal business account.
Yeah. How about Etsy? How much do you get if you sell a $25 towel through Etsy?
I believe that the breakdown is somewhat similar, actually, but I could tell you.
I'm sure it's more than the 20 cents, you know.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I can actually tell you the exact amount to date, including shipping, taxes, and fees. Give me just one quick moment here so I can find it. Okay, so to date, our total fees are $275.82 out of the $1,243 that we earned in sales.
Yeah, it's like a 20% fee.
Absolutely.
What are you guys trying to get? You talked about trying to get the costs down, but I didn't really hear a lot of detail on how that was going to happen and what your target was for you wanted to get down to. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Right. So initially, all of our materials were going to be sourced in China. We had already established specific people that we were going to go to for the departments. And once COVID-19 hit certain proportions, we felt that it would be, at least for the course of this experience, to just source through US suppliers. So because we did that, for example, each towel by itself was $5 a piece. And then we traced the stencil and cut those out. And then we had our mittens that were $2 a piece. So you can see how over time that tally just added up. Whereas some of our initial estimates, for example, our rubber bristles, the gripper brushes, were going to be 36 cents a piece from China. So 36 cents compared to $2 that's quite a jump.
I'm just curious because when you think about it, your margin right now, if you were selling it and your cost was $15.80 and you're selling for $25, right? You're only running at rough, maybe a 40% margin, and there's got to be some room eventually for when you want to get to the levels that I kind of heard you saying, buy your own building and warehouse and 5 employees. You're now working through distribution because you've got to get some value up. So your cost is going to want to go dramatically down so that you have some room for your distributor to sell it and make some money, and for you to be making money on that. And I just wondered where you kind of thought you might get onto that. Was it,
we would probably switch gears and turn back to our international suppliers to start buying in bulk, especially if we're going to scale up in our numbers.
Okay.
From outside sources.
Perfect.
I'll jump in. I just wanted to say I thought you guys did an awesome job on your presentation. I love that you had the videos embedded in there. I could see so much about your product and what you were doing. So trying to do anything coordinated right now, right, is super hard. So nicely done with that. And I did want to ask, it looked like from your, when you were counting your conversion, your click-through, am I correct that you had, it looked like it was about 24% of the people that clicked through purchased?
On which slide were you referring to?
You had 188 click through on one, 28 on another, 103 on
Oh
another.
yes, okay. So our sales traffic. So those were individuals who saw us advertised, whether they saw our own post or our advertisement on Facebook or Etsy, and they actually clicked through. So I actually have, if I could.
So that's great. If you had 320 people click through and 78 of them bought. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And those are 78 towels. That actually isn't our transaction total.
Okay.
Many customers actually purchase multiple.
Nice. Nicely done. Good job.
Okay, and we have time for one more quick question from the Gators.
The only I'll ask a question for you guys. Great job. I really appreciate it. I think it's a great concept and a neat idea. It's unfortunate that you couldn't get the materials cost down a little bit, and sewing is tough, and I know there's not many people that could do the sewing here. But the only question I had for you was, I know you had one kind of review you mentioned. Have you talked to many of the consumers at this point to see kind of what their feelings have been, and whether or not you can make any improvements, or whether or not there's been any quality issues or things that maybe you want to change in the future?
Yeah, so we've had a lot of feedback from almost every customer that we've talked to, and we did have a bit of I wouldn't even, it was just because of the mittens, there was an extra elastic band that for the first 25 people, the extra elastic went out on the towels, and we got immediate feedback that it made it really difficult for all hands to get through it. So like, I have small hands, but my husband has larger hands, and then other people that have purchased it had, different size hands. So once we figured that out, our seamstress immediately made some adjustments for us and cut that elastic off, and we haven't had a problem since.
That's great.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Bone-Dri. Up next, we have Haute Hat, presented by Anna, Janae, Angel, and Devin. Okay, when you're ready, take it away.
Angel, are you? Devin, are we gonna keep it on this view?
Yeah, it looks a little funny right now.
Oh, what does it look like? I'm sorry.
It shows our script and everything.
Oh, my bad. No, oh my gosh.
Is that in the presentation mode?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, swap that, Anna. Take it out of presenter view.
I think you may have shared the wrong window, so you stop sharing and run the presentation, and there you go.
That's good.
Did I get it?
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Hi, welcome to Venture Launch here at Green River College. We are Haute Hat here, and I'm Angel. My teammates Anna, Devin, and Janae. We are excited to introduce Haute Hat stickers, with hats being increasingly more popular by day, and considering how quickly the makeup industry is growing, we wanted to provide a solution to a common annoyance that most women have while they wear their hats. Our team recognized the problem that people who wear hats and they experience often. Hat lovers are constantly looking for ways to remove their stains from their hats. People who wear makeup are forced to create stains and ruin their makeup looks just to accessorize with a favorite hat. Some people even endure skin rashes and breakouts as a result of their bacteria-filled hat fabric rubbing against their forehead. We wanted to help with and are excited to introduce Hot Hats, which is a foam lining hat sticker. Hot Hat is a high quality foam liner that adheres to the inside of any hat style, including baseball caps, beanies, straw hats, felt hats, hard hats, and many more.
Similar product to ours is this golf hat liner from Amazon. There's this cheap and it only comes in one color. And it really prevents sweat stains. Ours is better because it's made of high quality material. It's great for a foundation. It fits multiple hat styles and we have color choices. Customers love Hot Hat. To our surprise, it serves an additional function to construction workers who wear hard hats all day. Customers love the comfort, durability, and think it's a great idea. Customers have said they enjoy it at work because it feels good on their skin. Melody said that the liner helps the beanies stay in place, and Lauren said her hat's dirty, so she loves the idea. Our first milestone is to generate pre-sales, and in our first 2 weeks, we received 11 pre-sale orders, and our sales have skyrocketed since then. As of today, we made 26 orders and sold 353 units. These included 2 lookalike orders. One is for a hairstylist who's eager to sell them in her salon, and the other one is for a gentleman who works construction. He loved it and wanted one for every member of his team. Now Anna is going to talk about the financials. To produce and sell one piece, it cost us $1.08. It was important to us to price these in a way that felt reasonable to those who were buying these as an impulse buy and for those who weren't yet convinced that they would work. So also we price these at $5 for a 3-pack at a 35% margin, $10 for a 6-pack, also with a 35% margin. And then we wanted to provide an incentive for people to buy more. So we priced our 10 packs at $15 and took a slightly smaller margin of 28%.
And our e-commerce websites were very important because there is such a large population that online shops. So we created Facebook, Instagram, and a Shopify website to further reach our target market. Shopify was our main store to purchase products. And with a simple, clean look, we made it very easy for our customers to buy our products with just a click of a button. On our Shopify website, we have more info about our products. We even have personal profiles about my team and I, and we even included the Green River Bachelor's program in there. Starting last week, we even offered a promo code SAVE10 for our last-minute customers to receive 10% off. And we got a shout out on Instagram that gained us 500 followers. And for advertising, we used Facebook for our main channel of advertising. And at just 64 cents per click, we were able to reach our target market. And due to COVID-19, we were unable to participate in many markets like farmers markets and Gallup Fair, but we were able to gain notoriety through Facebook, through likes, clicks, and ads. And these were our ad results from Facebook. We were able to reach 2,365 people with 39 link clicks. And it also gained us a lot of traffic on our Shopify website, which increased sales. And of that traffic on this ad, 61% were women and 38% were men.
You've got 1 minute left.
So going forward, we plan on selling through June. Right now we're $10 away from being profitable and optimistic of where we can go from here. Our next step is to continue to scale by doing a slight rebranding and then adding a product line for the hard hat liners, just to be able to tend to them. And then from there we can lower production costs and reevaluate our pricing structure. And we just wanted to thank you all for your continued support, and we hope that you continue to follow us on this journey.
Awesome. Thank you, team. Gators, we are ready for you.
I can start. Thank you very much for putting that together. It was great. Couldn't hear some of it, but pretty good idea of how it was done. One of my first questions, I thought it was really interesting. I remember from before, I didn't quite know what the audience would be, but I was really surprised to hear that there was 38% men that were clicking on some of those ads, and also that the construction hard hat business is kind of picked up. Do you guys have any thoughts around, or how did you, just start marketing to that business? I'm kind of curious about that.
Well, it started with me just tinkering around with making these and trying to figure out how we were going to make them. And my brother actually saw me making them and said, "Oh, these are awesome in my hard hat." And I mean, I've never worn a hard hat, so I don't really know. But apparently the plastic digs it into their forehead. And then Janae also, she works as a flagger. So once I told the rest of the team, she was like, "Oh my gosh, yes, no, this is the perfect thing." So we were able to, I just did like a double lined one, made a bunch for my brother, and we still sold them to them. And then we just added a note and made them a little bit differently for them.
Yeah, with that, knowing that as well, I told someone I knew who manages at Public Works, and he actually really liked the idea as well for his work crew, which is where we got one of our larger bulk orders from, actually.
Oh,
I don't have a question. Thank you. It's good work. I do have a comment though. If I remember correctly, you had a 3-pack, 6-pack, and 10-pack. I think the cost of goods sold is significantly high compared to some of the product that we see. Looking at a 3-pack, 35% GM, 35% for a 6-pack, and 28. So your cost of goods sold is actually 65, to 72%. That's really high, because then you have the marketing, you have the customer acquisition, you have the distribution and all that. So even if you were to get it lower, it's still not going to work. I think my recommendation is it had to be half of your current cost of goods sold to be able to, for your line to be profitable. It's really high right now. It's just, I like to see it probably 35% or below for cost of goods sold for this to actually go really big and be profitable.
For sure, yeah. I think for us we found this really high quality foam. It was similar to a beauty blender type of foam. And I mean, it was just really hard to find a different supplier to supply the same quality. But I mean, shipping costs and those costs in such a small quantity was kind of a lot. So hopefully going forward, next round, we'll be able to cut those.
Got it. Thank you. Good job.
Anna, do you know what your price cuts would be with volume? Do you have an idea on that?
I'm not totally sure.
Okay.
I remember when I was talking to the supplier of the foam, he was not super happy to only be sending us 60 or 600 pieces. And so I think that might have hiked it up a little bit, but I hadn't asked him. So I can always go back and message him again and just say, how can we make this cost less for us?
Yeah, I mean, I think in the size that you're doing, you are going to see that, and you would expect to see it scale within that. I like the fact that you guys, came up with a different idea of a use for it and looked at a way to be able to expand it. The marketing that you showed speaks to me, right? But if I'm the guy in the hard hat, it doesn't. So the fact that you found that and a different, area to go in for distribution. If you think about that area, you know, we'll wear hats as accessories, but we don't have to wear it every day, all day for work. And I think looking at those kinds of markets can really bring you more of that volume. So good job on taking that idea, going and talking to someone else and getting them to do that, right? Because that's your bang for your buck, is not in someone that's buying a 1-pack or a 3-pack, but a department like that in public works that is buying, you know, they start liking them, they buy thousands, you have recurring orders, you can get them into a lot of different locations. So I would encourage you to go to chase that down even more, their frequency of use and time that they would be wearing them, so the time before they need another is much higher.
We have time for one more quick question from the Gators.
Okay, so piggybacking on what Andrea said, on some of the marketing, it felt like there was a disconnect on that. And I think I had mentioned this before. You have the name, you know, Haute Hat, meaning sort of fashion and couture, but the product itself feels a little unfinished. And again, I don't know that something that's branded with pink script is going to appeal to your commercial buyers. And I think that's an amazing market to pursue, especially as we come into the summer and it's so hot. And anybody who has to wear a helmet, first responders, hard hats, like that's an amazing opportunity. So I feel like if you could, and maybe that's a different product name or a different branding look, but those feel a little disjointed. And either you would want to finish up the product a little more, have some seams or something like that golf one, or maybe change that branding for that commercial side so it's a little more consistent with what they're looking for.
Yeah, totally. We were even thinking if to add that additional line of SKUs, we would change like our company name to Hat Stickers, and then we would have Hot Hats as a line, and then Hard Hats or whatever we want to call it as a separate line.
Yeah, I think there's some opportunity now that like we all have COVID haircuts, and so we're all wearing hats to cover that up. There may be some marketing opportunities now that won't exist in the future, and so you could capitalize on that as well.
Yeah, good thinking. Thank you.
Thank you, Hot Hat. And next up, we have Toasty Turby, presented by Ashley, Carissa, Caleb, Kyle, and Megan. Take it away, team.
It says I'm the host, but Ashley's the one sharing.
Jeff, can you make me the host, please? And thank you.
Yep.
Hi, everyone. How you doing?
You're good to go.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you again for this amazing opportunity. My name is Megan. Here with me is Lisa, Caleb, Ashley, and Kyle, and we are Toasty Turby, the first ever heated hair turban.
When I get out of the shower, I am always freezing cold. I love the warmth of my blow dryer, but I hate the damage it does to my hair. After surveying our target market, we found that they weren't satisfied with their hair drying routines either. Air drying takes too long, towel drying causes frizz, and blow drying can quickly make hair dry and brittle. We created a product that gives you the warmth of a blow dryer without the damage. After great reviews, we were ecstatic to have solved this problem for our customers, but we realized there was a bigger one to tackle, and that's stress. We took a great product and made it better by transforming a normal hair drying turban into a luxurious self-care product. We crafted our turbies with luxurious, eco-friendly, 100% bamboo velour and inside pockets to hold the heat packs.
We had a unique opportunity to utilize these turbulent times to address another pain point and expand not only in the hair care market, but into the self-care market. Little did we know that it was much bigger, and it's projected to reach $450 billion by 2024. being isolated and stuck at home dramatically increased women's need for de-stressing and pampering. So we launched campaigns like digital detox and at-home DIY spa treatments, and took into account the growing demand for all natural organic products. Another opportunity, well, we'll fix that later. Another opportunity for us was that big beauty brands all but quit advertising on Facebook after COVID. And right as they did that, the number of mentions for shampoo increased 598% and conditioner increased 1275, and that's according to IRA. And with all of this unveiling, so did our target market, which we weren't, we had been targeting originally a much younger target. But this is Jane. She's between 40 and 55 years old. She's college educated, and she's a part of the Hibernate and Spend, which is one of 4 other market segments that had emerged after COVID.
So I'm going to dive into our go-to market. We had created alliances with local spas and plan on creating exposure to our product this way. But of course, due to the unforeseen circumstances, we had to find another way in other channels to find exposure and sell our product. While we had always planned on using social media to gain customers, we had to heavily rely on our website and social media to get our product out there. We're using Facebook, Instagram, and Etsy to sell our product. We currently have 109 likes on Facebook, 56 followers on Instagram, and are pushing to continue to grow a large presence on social medias.
This is how we stack up against our competition. As you can see, Bare Comfort is lower cost. Turby Twist, again, is your traditional style turban. And then there's Aquas, which has their own fabric, but who cares? With our innovation skills, we created Toasty Turby. This turban is not only made from 100% organic bamboo, but we also give you the option to add some extra heat, something our competition simply doesn't offer. So let's talk about the money. Due to COVID-19, we have had some roadblocks just as everyone else. It's extremely difficult to create a startup during this time, but this makes us stronger for the future. With that, we have sold 20 units to date. Our gross profit is $600, and however, we are still working hard to sell the remaining Turbys before the end of the quarter. After all sales are final, our total gross margin will be 68%.
You may ask how we're going to move forward. With our product line extension, product premiumization, and our expansion to the global market will help us scale our company. With our 1-year projections of $24,951 and 68 cents of gross revenue, going into year 2, we plan to at least double our year 1 productions, since we'll be able to expand into the global market.
COVID changed everything. All of our suppliers, we had to source from the US, which originally, like Don said, we had sourced from China. The shipping was delayed, large manufacturers were closed, and the smaller seamstresses were making masks. We were able to see our problems as opportunities, our obstacles into opportunities, and turn our problems into perseverance. We wanted to thank Heather from Made Apparel. She's been amazing for us. Production's not quite done, so we're really excited to get the rest of our Turbys out and get those sold, but we have been selling them right as they come out. And thank you, Gators, very much for your time.
Lovely.
That was a great presentation, you guys. Thanks a lot. I found that I find this product actually, I think it has some good legs if you guys continue to go with it. Did you guys sell much off of your website? Is that where it was primarily sold?
All of it.
All of it. So I have a comment on the website when I saw it. I see this relaxing lady, this lady relaxing in a spa-like setting, and it says health and beauty, I think it was, or something like that. And then in little letters you had the, it said hair wrap, right? Or something of that. And I would ask you guys to bolden that portion up because it doesn't grab my attention. And I'm a person, I don't shop a lot, but when I do, it needs to grab my attention quickly. And I need to understand what it is really quickly. And so that would be something that I would encourage you guys to look at. your next rendition of it.
Thank you so much.
I shop a lot, which is why he doesn't have to shop a lot. And I just want to say congratulations on, like, with the challenges that you had in your product, your pivot of doing that. I think it's a great way to be able to do that. And I think you could, you know, Steve kind of said that about the, like, that spa experience of laying there. But I think if you even change the marketing a little bit more so that it appears as something more for doing at home, right? Rather than in that spa location. I can't go to the spa right now, and now I just have to look at it again, versus seeing like a relaxing environment of where I could be and using that. And I think marketing not only for after you do your, like after you wash your hair, but just the, like, my hair doesn't need to be, I can put that on and have it. I think you can continue to develop and refine how that looks with it. Can you tell me a little bit more about your numbers? That kind of glossed over. So how many units you sold, what you sold them for. It sounded like your margins were great, but there's just only a few numbers on there. And I was just wondering about a couple more numbers.
So we've sold 20 so far, and we're selling them as they come out. Heather's been amazing. And as she's making them, we're going and picking up, you know, batches of 10, 13 and selling them right away. Our cost per unit is $18.53, and we're selling them for $29.99. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm missing a part of your initial question.
No, so you sold 20, $18.53, and $29.99. Okay, no, that was what I was kind of looking for. And what's your total product? How many more are you going to make?
So we're going to do a total of 62.
Okay. And are some of those already pre-sold and you just haven't been able to fulfill them?
Right, correct.
Okay.
As of right now, I think we have 7 pre-sales with those. We ran into quite a bunch of production issues, and I don't know about Dawn, but like Heather sincerely saved us with production. The initial company that was going to do our manufacturing, they just stopped answering my emails and phone calls and everything. So she's been really awesome for us, and she's a machine.
Yeah. You know, not just to you guys, but to all of you, during this time, you know, the resourcefulness that you've showed during this, the challenge that you've gone through with this, the fact that it was even harder will result in greater tenacity for all of you going forward. So what feels the most painful during can sometimes give you the greatest reward. So nice job.
Thank you.
I have a couple questions, and kind of piggybacking on some of this marketing stuff. To me, when I first heard this product, the best part is that it dried your hair, because I have thick curly hair and I flip and hate the blow dryer with a passion, and I hate the way my hair looks when it's blowed straight. So I would love to see that featured on your website, because I think because I don't even look at these kinds of products anymore because I don't believe them. And so if you could put some credibility behind that and really call out that heating feature and as a way to walk around the house and do your hair, or be on a Zoom call without the video and do your hair, you know, that would really appeal now, but also just in general, I just really love that feature. And I was curious how long the heat packs last, like Ashley, how many times do you have to reheat it when you're doing your hair?
So Carissa doesn't like to throw all 3 of hers in the microwave. I think it scares her a little bit. I throw all 3 of mine in the microwave for 30 seconds. I like it really hot, and it lasts a good 30 minutes for me. Carissa, how does it work for you?
Yeah, I actually got past that fear of throwing all 3 in the microwave. I do it now because it's so much quicker. I was scared one was going to explode. So, but after a little testing, yeah, you can put all 3. You put it about for 10 seconds. And then if you want it really hot, you can do it for another 10. And it stays hot for 20 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, that would be something I would call out too. And the fact that you can dry your hair and maintain the curl and it's not getting straightened out, I would definitely put that front and center on the marketing too.
We have time for one more quick question from the Gators. Okay, we will go ahead and move on to team number 4, Privacy Pack, presented by Renata, Esteban, Marcus, and Lindsay. All right, team, take it away.
Welcome to Pitch Night. My name is Renata, and I am joined here today by my teammates, Lindsay, Esteban, and Marcus. We are presenting Privacy Pack, a solution to a problem that no one wants to talk about.
Let's talk about using the restroom. We're all humans here, and when you gotta go, you gotta go. But have you ever noticed the gap in between the doors of public restroom stalls? The gap you often find others are able to see into during your most private moments. For a lot of people, this is a problem.
But who made this problem? Who may have this problem? Well, our original target market included women between the ages of 18 to 55, the LGBT community, and people who suffer from periuresis, also known as shy bladder syndrome. However, after further analysis and feedback received from the Gators, we narrowed down our market to those who suffer from the shy bladder syndrome.
Recent studies show that nearly 21 million Americans, or 220 million people worldwide, suffer from the social anxiety disorder, periuresis, or shy bladder syndrome. Shy bladder syndrome can make it difficult to use the restroom when in a hurry, if others are close by or may hear or see you, and when traveling in a moving vehicle. Knowing that this problem exists for so many, we wanted to help create a solution.
No other product like ours exists on the market today. So what are people currently using as a solution to the gap problem? The feedback we received online matched the data we originally had discovered. Our only competitors are makeshift solutions, such as toilet paper and masking tape, as you can see from these comments we received on our Facebook page. These alternatives are not only inadequate, they are also wasteful and inconvenient to set up.
Our product is a simple, inexpensive, and easy-to-use solution. The Privacy Pack is a set of universal elastic bands with hooks on each end that attach to any restroom stall door, eliminating the gap problem. It is stored in a washable mesh bag that you can fit inside your purse or your backpack.
Originally, we planned to set up booth at the Fremont Sunday Market. This was going to be our strongest chance to reach our audience as we needed to demonstrate our product in person. Unfortunately, this didn't pan out due to the pandemic. To work around this, we have been communicating with Poi Shum, who is the health and environmental investigator for Seattle and King County. He is in the process of gaining board approval to allow us to be able to sell our product at the Federal Way Farmers Market. While waiting, we had to turn to alternative methods of getting sales. We started by creating a website using Shopify. We were able to sell our product and direct traffic here through our social media platforms and advertisements. Our website had a quick and simplified checkout process to avoid people abandoning their carts. We included a pop-up after 15 seconds that prompts the viewer for their name and email to keep in touch. The top of the screen included a dynamic banner that was updated for special events, such as our grand opening, Mother's Day sale, and Memorial Day weekend sale.
We knew how important it was to create a strong online presence, especially in the midst of the pandemic. Currently, we are running a live Shopify website, a Facebook page, and an Etsy store. Each has given us different insights and have allowed us to spread awareness of our product.
For our online store, we have been steadily gaining traffic, as you can see in the chart. The majority of our traffic has been from our social media platforms.
And one of these platforms is Facebook. We have been posting regularly and engaging with our audience. We have also run ads, A/B testing, and boosted our posts and videos. Currently, we have 142 followers, and we have reached over 17,000 people this week with our ads.
We've also created an Etsy to see if it would help us gain some more traction. Unfortunately, this was not the right platform for our product. As you can see, we had no sales and a low number of visits compared to our other methods.
So far, we have sold 10 units. The selling price for the privacy pack is $25. It currently costs us $13.47 to make one pack, giving us a profit of $11.53 per unit. Most of our sales have been from social media traffic.
We were able to form a partnership with the International Pair Races Association and their sister company, ARA. The IPA is a leader in treating par races. The board of directors responded very positively to our product, and they think the privacy pack will be a great tool to use for treatment and rehabilitation. They have also shared our social media page and website on their Facebook and LinkedIn. To further help those suffering from pair races, we plan to donate a portion of our proceeds to the IPA.
We believe that we can scale this product easily as we can drastically lower the cost of manufacturing by increasing production volume and already having a major partnership to boost awareness. We have paused our search for manufacturers due to the pandemic and intend to look into it further as factories reopen.
We have a little under a minute left.
So even though we are on standby for manufacturing, we intend to continue our search once possible. The privacy pack was created with the user in mind, as we know that using the restroom is not the same experience for everyone. Our product is the solution. It is simple, inexpensive, and easy to use. The privacy pack will give you your privacy back. Let us know if investing in this venture is of interest to you. Thank you.
Perfect timing. Awesome. Thank you so much, team. All right, Gators, any feedback is welcome now.
I'll jump in. I first wanted to say that I mentioned it was extremely difficult to find people that were looking to purchase this right now because we're not thinking about public restrooms, and if we are, we're fearing them. And so the fact that you were looking to find something with that, that you sold any, I think is fantastic. My question was, why did you decide just that market? Why did you pick that as your channel?
So we started with the broader, more general kind of female audience, and the feedback we received was not very positive. So we decided to shift more towards the male audience, and also, unfortunately, Facebook doesn't allow us to really hone in on people that suffer from shy bladder syndrome. So we kind of just had to kind of figure out what we think that target market would potentially be interested in and what kind of hobbies and all that. So, and that was actually a lot more positive. We actually had a lot more men that were commenting and saying what a great product this was.
Nice, thank you.
We also found too that working with the IPA and their research that they have, that actually more men suffer from shy bladder syndrome than women do. So that's why we kind of shifted over to shy bladder syndrome as well in that sense.
Thank you.
You guys were smart to narrow it down as you're trying to really figure this out. And I applaud you for finding the IPA. I think that was brilliant. And I think that is a great way to keep marketing with that. This isn't a product that I think is going to be easy to sell on like Facebook or any natural things. How do you show it very well, right? But the people that get it, I think, are going to really appreciate it, and they're going to be able to visualize how it could work. And so if you can really get this partnership going with that, the IPA, was it IPA that was, yeah. And so I think that's a brilliant move to start channeling down, and then you can pivot to other markets and other concepts later. But I think honing your research into one area was smart.
Yeah, we worked with the IPA, and the executive director for the IPA is also the executive director for the American Restroom Association too. So those kind of went hand in hand. And then also we're thinking for the future partnering with urology, as well. getting to work with them too.
Yeah, I agree with Steve. And even if you can get more endorsement, you know, and it's a product that could become reimbursable, you would expand your market. And I think a natural extension of that would be elder care. People who have their spouses or companions having to come into the stall with them. You know, even though people try to be discreet, it's, I think, distracting for the people in the stall. And so I think that something like that would be a really great product in the elder care industry. And again, parents of kids with special needs, because the bathroom is such a high anxiety place for that. And there's actually a catalog, and I can't remember the name of it, maybe Andrea knows, for adaptive equipment and equipment specifically for kids and people with special needs. And that might be a place to look.
That's great feedback. Thank you for that. We'll definitely look into that.
Of course, I can't remember. Southpaw. So I was like, I can't remember the name of it. Southpaw is a great catalog where you can find a lot of adaptive equipment for kids.
I have a little comment, a little brainstorm here, and maybe, of course, right now there's no big event or something like that. Maybe another distribution channel will be looking at a high-end hotel, right, and sell it to them in bulk so that they can put it there for their customer to use. And also if they're a big event, so every time there's break, right, there are a lot of people waiting in line and people are nervous. So it will be like sell it to an event, like a few hundred pieces, and then it's give it out. And then every time people use it, we just hang it on there. So you can just sell several hundred pieces, sell them in bulk.
That's a great idea. Thank you.
And even on that idea too, is people traveling to the US from other countries who, you know, like have no idea why we have these gaps in the first place, because all of Europe doesn't have the gap. And so people who are traveling here, you know, you buy your electricity converter and your door gap product.
That was one of our actual locations we wanted to sell our product at, was airports.
Yep.
But we kind of couldn't, but that was definitely a great idea. Thank you.
And we have time for one more quick question, Gators.
Yeah, I just have one quick question for you. I noticed that you started to have an increase in traffic kind of right at the end of May, and I didn't know whether or not that was, and then a pretty significant decline. Was that due to just an ad spend? You're turning off the ads, or what was that process? And were you starting to see additional traction, because it looked like you maybe ran that for maybe 10 days or so?
Yeah,
So,
we were running an ad campaign on Facebook, and that was just about when we stopped it. And so that was our main source of traffic for our website, was through our ads.
okay. And did you start to, it did look like it was increasing pretty well though. Were you
Yeah,
starting to get some good benefit out of it at that point?
Marcus, do you remember the specific numbers? I remember we had, like, originally we were getting like 30 or so views a day on our website, and then we jumped up to like in the thousands. So,
Right. So yes, before we had ran our ads through Facebook, we were in the double digits all the way to, 1,000 to 2,000 per day visits to our website. And the reason why it was low on June, like you had saw, is because it only showed the first 2 days of June. That's why. So it's not showing the whole month. That's why it's a big dip.
Awesome. Thank you, team. Thank you, Gators. Okay, up next, we have Sprout Book, presented by Riley, Bennett, Muhammad, and Megumi.
Hi. All right, I'm going to share my screen. Okay. All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Megumi, and today I have Riley, Mohammed, and Bennett with me tonight. And we are very proud to introduce to you Sprout Book. Open your notebook, hold your favorite pen. It is somewhat meditative to write down your thoughts and ideas. We at Sprout Book knew that there had to be a better way to write on paper without negatively impacting our environment. This is why we created Sprout Book, the world's first paper notebook that can actually improve our environment and give back to Mother Nature herself.
Sprout Book looks and works just like a traditional paper notebook. but we made the notebooks completely biodegradable and plantable by using compostable materials, including seed-infused paper. The solution Sproutbook provides is a reduction to the amount of notebooks that end up in the landfill, while also creating those books from a more sustainable source. What also makes the notebooks special is that customers get the planting experience along with the notebook.
When we first started this project, we planned on making one large notebook to prove our concept. But once the pandemic hit, we knew we had an opportunity to adapt. This is why we extended our product line to provide more size options and even added a journal to help bring order back into people's lives in an ever-changing world.
One of our milestones during this project was to create an informational video about the planning process to post on social media, and here's that now.
So I'm here at my dad's garden, and I'm going to give you guys a quick little tutorial on how you can actually plant a sprout book. So I've got my dirty sprout book here. I'm going to just simply set it in the dirt, cover it with about a ½ inch of soil. The whole thing can go under the ground, and then you want to keep it moist for the next 2 weeks until you see sprouts. After that, water it once a day, and it should be good to go.
So our initial target market was college students aged between 18 to 25 years old. After launching the product, our sales unveiled the true target market to be women between the age of 40 to 50 years old who are financially stable and have their own gardens at home. Initially, we planned to sell in person and online. However, we had to readjust our strategy and focus all our efforts on online selling due to the stay-at-home order. So with that in mind, we set a milestone to launch a Shopify store by the beginning of May. So here we have summarized our Shopify webpage in a short video. So we have nice hero images at the top. And if you're going below, we have our unique product specs. And at the bottom, we added a short video of me actually binding one of our notebooks by hand. In our impact page, we linked multiple articles to learn more about paper recycling and deforestation. In shop page, we made it simple and easy to navigate. And we also have a page to introduce our team. And we have contact page, registration and login page, and also the drawer card.
To raise awareness among our target audience, we utilize social media and word of mouth. In addition, email campaigns and influencers helped us to generate more traffic and thus the conversion. The two ads you see on the screen are Facebook ads that were boosted to raise awareness and call to action.
Here's a quick breakdown of our product cost and pricing. Keep in mind that this does not include labor. For our mini line notebook, our cost of goods sold is $3.48. Our sell price is $9.99 with a gross profit margin of 65%. For our journal, our cost of goods sold is $4.38. Our sell price is $12.99 and our gross profit margin of 66%. And then with our 8.5 by 11 inch notebook, our cost of goods sold is $6.90. Our sell price is $14.99 with a gross profit of 54%.
Prior to launching, we anticipated making 120 large-size notebooks at a cost of $1,200. During the process, we were able to reduce some of the costs using strategic adjustments. Our actual cost ended at $950. Another milestone of ours was to secure printing. As you may notice, we spent a little more than anticipated on this cost. But luckily, we were able to redirect some of our marketing funds and still came under budget. As stated, our original goal was to sell 120 notebooks at $10 each. As our product line developed, our metrics had to change. Selling $1,400 worth of notebooks was a set milestone that our group had decided on. We were actually able to sell a total of $1,650 or 137 notebooks, which is 100% of our total inventory. We believe that this proves the demand for our product, and we're proud to report that with all costs considered, we have made $700 of profit in this project.
Our intention was to gain traction and improve customer demand during Venture Launch 2. We have accomplished this goal. If we were to move forward, here's an idea of what that would look like. Our projections for year one will include outsourcing production to lower costs and allow for higher sales volume, as well as growing our online presence and building up our brand. This would result in around $50,000 in profit for year one. For year two, we would begin to expand operations by bringing on a dedicated employee, as well as selling directly to consumers through Amazon. By the year, to have at least $105,000 in profit. Over the last 2 months, we were able to prove customer demand, successfully launched and sold our product, and completed all of our milestones despite the rapidly changing world. Thank you very much for listening, and we hope you'll sprout with us.
Awesome. Thank you, team. All right, Gators, we're ready to hear your feedback now.
Yeah, I'm curious. You guys said that your target market shifted to an older demographic, right? But really didn't get into that. You sold I mean, you did great, right? $1,600 worth of your notebooks. But when you look at who bought them, what was the feedback you're getting? Why were they buying them? What did they say was the thing that really drove their desire to purchase?
Yeah, a lot of the women who are buying them either like to garden or journal, and so they wanted to use it for themselves, or some of them really like to buy them as gifts for their like nieces or daughters. So I had a few older women in that demographic who would buy them and then give them out as gifts, and so we had like bulk buys because of that, which really helped drive our sales.
And most of that came over Shopify?
Yes, Shopify directed through Facebook or Instagram.
How many different customers were there?
We sold there was about 65 orders. So it was around 3 notebooks per order averaged.
And which size was the one that won out of the 3? That were they all equally purchased, or did they gear towards one request?
Both the mini line notebook and the mini journal, those outsold the large notebook by about double each. And that was thanks to Hal Lamb. He gave us the advice to make a smaller journal because that was something that people would probably get rid of earlier rather than a big notebook. And so that was advice that we're very grateful for.
And when you guys first did your first round with us, I struggled to understand the concept. Your presentation this time was a lot more, I got it. And I was like, oh yeah, this is kind of cool. So nice job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I got a few comments. Number one, website's nicely done. Congratulations, it's really good. Second thing I want to say, I love the video at the very beginning when you bury the book and at the soil and all that. And then I like to continue to watch it. What happened 2 weeks, 4 weeks, and 6 weeks later. It was like, just do another 10, 15 seconds. It will be really nice. The third thing is when I see you show the card and registration. Of course, I didn't have enough time. I was hoping I can buy without register. Because I don't like to register because I hate it. There's so many. So make sure people can buy as a guest instead of you force me to register because I won't buy. And then lastly, do I have to bury the whole book or not? Is it possible to do it in a way that when I'm done, I just pull out the last page and then bury the last page and keep the book? Because I have like 30 of them in my closet. So that's my comments.
Thank you. Yeah, actually, if you wanted to, you could totally tear off the back or front and just plant it. It's just up to you if you want to keep the pages or not. We just like the idea of the book totally being under the ground and then turned into soil, because then it eliminates that book eventually ending up in a landfill. But there is the option, if it's like important work, then you can totally just tear off the back or front and plant that and have the experience while also keeping the product.
I see an opportunity for this product. You had mentioned that your target market was women 40 to 50. I was a little surprised it wasn't women with young children, as this seems like something that they could do and then have the gardening part of it. So moving forward, as we are probably not going back to classrooms, could there be a homeschool version of this where there's a lesson or an activity, on the page itself, and then you plant it as part of that activity or as an activity packet, because I suspect there's going to still be a lot of homeschooling going on when we hit September and moms are done. So anything that has, applications in a lot of different places, I think would be really attractive.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with
Thank you.
that too, on the having something that can go for to be able to use at home for lessons. Like even if you could do a smaller one that maybe had like a coloring activity or some things to learn about planting and things like that, so you could incorporate some lessons into that. I do like that idea. I think it was great that you did the mini one as well. I'm rather bummed that you're sold out, because while you were talking, I was like, I need to do this. And yeah, it says, I hope you keep doing it, and I hope that you let us know when you have more in stock, because I will order more. So good job. Your presentation was great.
That's a
Thank you.
huge compliment. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Creators, do we have any more questions? We have time for one more.
Just real quick, are the seeds all in the cover or in the papers too?
They are just in the front and back covers, but the middle papers are made from the sugarcane pulp. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Why don't we all unmute ourselves and give each other a hand for a job well done. Ready? Unmute. Make some noise.
Yay!
Yay! You did. You don't have to present again. Okay, so here is what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen next, everybody. So I'll go ahead and mute everything. Cool, so here's what's gonna happen next. So like I mentioned before, the Gators are our mentors and our judges for the night. So while there are no losers in Venture Launch, there can only be one winner of Pitch Night. So what happens is that winner gets their team name engraved on a trophy that sits in our program manager's office for all time. But let me remind you again, this is just for fun, and we celebrate everyone's efforts, but we're still gonna pick a winner. So what I am going to do is I am going to put, so the Gators get to make the final choice, but they want to hear from everyone who's in attendance. So I have put in the chat box, by the way, venture launchers, do not fill out this survey. You're going to be able to see this survey here. Do not fill this out. This is not for you. This is for all the attendees. That's in your chat box. Jump in there, take that survey. If you have multiple people watching with you, feel free, they can each take it, but hey, honor system, one person, one vote, okay? I'm watching you. I know how many votes come from a single IP address. So don't just start clicking. So you have 3 minutes to do that. What's gonna happen is I'm gonna send, me and the Gators are gonna be on a very secret back channel conferring on who the winner is. But you have 3 minutes to send those results in, and then I'm gonna send those results to the Gators. And in the meantime, while you're voting, we have a couple students from the program who want to share a little bit about the journey that they've been on. We'll start with Don Carmona, and then we'll hear from Meg Shuto. So Don and Meg, you can take it away.
Thank you very much. So first of all, let me say, well done, teams. Guys, we finally made it to the end. We're done. No other cohort in the history of this program has had to make as many adjustments as ours has. So for example, halfway through this program, cohorts 8 and 9 were merged together into this super cohort that you see before you. And we were told now we have to finish the program together. Then came Venture Launch 1. We divided into teams. We started our business life cycles, which we just presented to you this evening. We had just begun to feel adjusted and working well together when all of a sudden a worldwide pandemic erupts. To have pushed through all those obstacles and overcome with so much grit and determination, we all deserve to feel a great deal of pride. My husband has been a huge support system at home, and he has been so patient with the amount of time and effort that I've invested into this project and into this program. So since I know you're watching in the other room, thank you, Devon. Thank you for hanging in there with me and supporting me while I took this journey. Thank you to all of my cohort mates. Having the opportunity to work with all of you has really been amazing. For some of you, I feel like we've made a strong enough bond or at least a good enough impression on each other that this certainly isn't going to be goodbye. I'm sure I will see many of you again, and I certainly welcome it. I also have a lot of gratitude for the professors that coached us to complete this program. Without you guys kind of giving us the leading hand, I don't know what we would have done. It's been an amazing experience working with you guys, so thank you very much. And congratulations, graduates! We finished Venture Launch 2020. Give yourselves a hand. And now, Megumi.
All right, thank you, Dawn. Your speech is always so good. So thank you so much for taking time for our Venture Launch final pitch tonight. And I'm pretty sure that every single one of us worked so hard to show our best possible result on this day. And also we learned so much as a marketer and as an entrepreneur through this capstone project. So as one of few international students in this program, I kind of want to talk a little bit about my experience with all my peers in the cohort and opportunities that I had in the program. So firstly, we had cohort style in this program, and we had all of us, eventually we merged to cohort, but basically we have a bunch of group mates that are learning together throughout 18 months. And I got to know every single one of us in a deeper level, personally and professionally. And I truly appreciate those connections and all that what we learned from you guys. And this support system has been so significant to me as a person who's learning away from my family. And also having the same instructors here and there every quarter was great to have, because they know who we are and they know our strengths and weaknesses, and they leveraged and applied them really great throughout the program. You know, another thing is educational expenses. So, you know, if you are going to university for bachelor's degree, it would have been twice, 3 times more to obtain your degree. So, and especially for international students, you know, we pay a little higher tuition rate than domestic students. So it has been a great opportunity and option for me to go get my degree, bachelor's degree, with a cheaper tuition rate. And also just keeping the better quality class setting where everyone can contribute and engage in class. And that was really great experience that I had. And also provided me opportunity to pursue my degree without financially impacting my family back in Japan. Yeah, so that was great. I truly received a great education and experience, just as great as going to university. And one more thing is my communication skill has developed so much. So it is obvious that English is not my first language, but I had every single one of us help me, you know, writing something, there's somebody always correct my grammatical errors, pronunciation, everything. That was so helpful. And just simply have so many chances to talk a lot and learn a lot of English. That was really valuable for me to be in this program. And yeah, a lot of them taught me how to really get out of my comfort zone, just challenge myself. And I knew that everyone's got my back. And yeah, that was truly great experience that I had in the United States. And yeah, I would never ever forget about this experience that I had for 18 months. And I would love to stay in touch with all of you guys as a professional and as, you know, friends. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Megumi.
Yeah.
Jeff, feel free to jump in if you have a winner announced. Otherwise, I have other things that I could say.
Please do. Buy us time.
Yeah, will do. Easy.
Give me 3 minutes.
Easy. I could talk about this group for an hour easily.
Oh,
So
I can't see it.
like I said at the beginning, I led my young company through the program at the University of Washington. And since then, I've been mentoring for the last 2 years companies that have been going through that same program at the University of Washington. And so I can't like give enough credit to these teams at Green River College for what they pulled off in this quarter. Is like I had planned, you know, to be able to go to class, meet with everyone, have these in-person meetings, and for everyone to transfer so quickly to these Zoom meetings, to go through the difficulty of communicating across these boundaries when entrepreneurship is already hard. The best thing that I could do with these students is let them know from my experience what the entrepreneurship journey looked like a year down the road, 7 years down the road, both for myself and for people around me. And there's always this process when you're trying to create something with this energy. You have all this passion, all these ideas, everything's working together. And then you're trying about 10 things and most of them start not working. You go through this real big dip. With this group and in the time frame we had, I knew that was going to hit at about week 3. And sure enough, by then, like everything started to go wrong. And it was, you know, hard to career. And we would like to say that, oh, things would have been so much easier had this not happened. But the opportunity that was seized to then try, when the first 10 things didn't work out, okay, let's try 10 more things, see which one of them might work. You can see the wall behind me. This is our wall of failures that we have at my company. We put all of our failures up on the wall because we like to say that we might be a failure, but we're not a failure. I think every single failure that you can share, every little thing that didn't go right is just another step in the right direction. We met all as one big group and had each other like share the things that were going wrong so we could learn from each other instead of just presenting like how great everything was going, because you know what? It wasn't that great a lot of the time. It was really difficult. So yeah, thank you again to this cohort and thank you to all of their support systems. As an entrepreneur, I know just how important it is to have people around me, friends, family, who will listen for forever about the passion that we have for a consumer product, who will hear our difficulties and the trials we go through. And eventually that lets us create value for customers who are looking for new innovative products, especially in a time like this. So how are we doing, Jeff?
We're good. Is everybody ready? Is everybody ready to hear the winner? We have a winner. The Gators in the crowd agree that the winner, hey, by the way, everybody unmute, because we are happy winners and we are happy supporters of the winners. The Gators in the crowd overwhelmingly agree that the winner for 2020 Venture Launch Pitch Night is Sprout Luck.
Yay!
Congrats, guys.
Good job, guys.
Bennett was just joking. Okay, so cool. Thank you, everybody. Great job, Sprout Book. Great job, everybody. Great job, everybody. But only Sprout Book gets their name on the trophy. But you get your name on my heart. Okay, those aren't going to be real tears. Sorry, Venture Launch 7ers that are watching. I'm not crying this year. Okay, sorry. So anyway, great job, everybody. Thank you, Dan, for those final words. And I really appreciate all that you shared and the journey that you brought these students along with your own experience as an entrepreneur. It was awesome having you on board and tag teaming with you. Again, I want to thank the Gators. They work so hard for us and with us, and they bring so much real world experience and insight that we could just never bring on our own. Just being teachers, doing the teacher thing. Even though we do entrepreneurship on the side, we all do. It's great to have people in here who do this. This is their full-time job. This is what they do when they get up in the morning. They've been highly successful at it. And having that just brings so much value to the program. It's just crazy. So again, thank you to all the students for all your hard work. I think before we go, I wanted to mention 4 students, Martin, Gabby, Mel, and Brandon. They didn't pitch tonight, but they worked on some solo side hustle projects for their venture launch experience. Completely crushed it, like more than you know. I can catch up with the cohort and let you know some of those results, but it was killer. So You know, every one of us in the department is proud of every one of you in this cohort. You did an awesome job. Thanks again to everybody who joined us tonight. We appreciate your support. We hope to see you soon. Everybody unmute and say goodbye to your friends and family. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for your support.
Thank you.